second question was, would we be able to attract partnerships and capital into Ugandan farms or companies to allow processing, technology, skills transfer, and expansion? This question, we received offers by some South African companies for production of breakfast cereals, snacks, maize, legumes, R&D to improve the seed technology in our country. There were offers for establishment of relationship between the Ankole Cattle Breeders Association with South African breeders to control disease, to manage the marketing of the Ankole beef once it's produced. One of the companies already in the drinks and beverages sector in Uganda promised they would make a case to make East Africa a base for its operations in the region. There were many other offers of assembly of electric transformers, partnership on exploitation of Uganda's uranium for nuclear energy to generate electricity, and push for Uganda government assembly of smartphones for the current and growing future Uganda market of cell phone. Uganda has about 70% internet coverage, but only 30% smartphone capacity, yet many businesses of young people are online. This limits the growth of internet businesses, which are the future of trading. So if you think of, if you have 5G, you are able to do hospital operations, not in Uganda, but based in South Africa. So we need rapid improvement in provision of 5G capacity for companies to be able to do that with doctors in South Africa, where we have more than 43 physicians, surgeons in that country. Now, we want to follow through with these conversations to ensure there is value for money from this business summit for Uganda, and to continue to strengthen the relationship with South African companies. Our aim is to balance trade and investment between our two countries. So with a combined population of 100 million people between Uganda and South Africa, and a tradition of 100 years of cooperation on resisting colonialism, on decolonization, for me it is a little shameful that trade between our two countries is just about $200 million. It's very small. We can do better. We can also learn from South Africa how they are able to balance their own trade with the world. Because I saw they export about 9 billion, they export 9.017 billion, and they import 9.03 billion, almost evenly balanced to the line, which I found interesting. So whether it is industry, manufacturing, or they are applying some administrative measures, or both, to ensure that countries that sell to them also open their markets for South African goods on better terms, I am all ears to learn as Uganda private sector and Ugandan decision makers here try to balance our trade with those who sell to us. So that was question number 2. Question number 3 that we went to South Africa to asking was, would we be able to lower the cost of freight of our products and increase the options for transport to this market and vice versa? We requested for the resumption of negotiation for partnership with Uganda Air Cargo, and one of the South African companies that made a request in August of 2022 but didn't follow through. These talks should conclude, or we move on to find other partners. Currently, shipping to South Africa ranges between $1.3 to $2.7, depending on the scale of what you're shipping and the product category. In fact, Uganda Airlines has done a fantastic job after we returned to give a rate to fruits and vegetable exporters of $1 a kilo. $1 a kilo, fantastic news. Now, if we don't lower the cost of shipment and logistics, and our competitors keep landing at less than 80 cents on this market, we lose out. Because I know it takes more than a week to drive from Kampala to Johannesburg, and more than 4,800 kilometers. When we were in South Africa, we were introduced to a couple at that summit and dinner. That couple, I think the name is Edward Echwalu and Maureen Agena. They were making more than 10,000 kilometers driving from Uganda to South Africa and back. Their harrowing experience in getting visas through more than 5 countries was a very touching reminder of how we, the African elite, don't really feel the same pain as the ordinary people crossing our borders on the road or on foot for trade. For me, it was a stark reminder of how dysfunctional the legacy of colonialism has kept us apart and stopped people-to-people culture exchange and building of relations. Yet these exchanges are the type of relations that inform and build trade. In South Africa, we made a case for Uganda Airlines to increase both flights, increase for passengers from Cape Town through Lusaka and Entebbe, something the airline industry calls the fifth freedom rights. The Ugandan representatives of tour operators, the association called OTO, and several travel agencies in South Africa will continue to pursue these requests, including the most favored nation status right that South Africa accords to countries with whom she has more tourist exchanges. We want Uganda on this list of most favored nation status on tourism, because this will help our country to sell poultry, dairy, beef, fish, nuts, bananas, and other commodities by producers who supply more than 10,000 hotel rooms in our country. It's a small growing segment of Uganda, and increased arrivals will create incomes for young businesses. Thank you and have a good weekend.
I'd like to hear from you. Please email us at info@tapmedia.com and visit our website at www.tapmedia.com. You can also visit our offices located at Tomosi Business Park, Luzira, Port Bell Road, or call 0414 220 702. Thank you.